Hi, I want to talk to you about the technology I want to include in some of my classes. It's having the students record themselves reading or saying some of their work. We learned about it, about some software called Audacity that they could use to do it.
Audacity? What's that?
Audacity is a software that could be used to create and even edit sound files. I want to use it especially with my Form 3 bio class, where the students have to remember many different processes in topics which they will not get to revisit before they write the CSEC exam 2 years later.
Okay. Well, give me an example.
I'll use it to help reinforce their memory of the double circulation of blood in humans. Which blood vessels bring blood to the heart, the order in which the blood flows through the different chambers and valves in the heart, and the blood vessels that take blood away from the heart and to the lungs and body, respectively. I usually teach this with the assumption that they've memorized the label diagram of the heart, and now it's just to memorize the direction of the arrows on the diagram in their text, or one that I'm projecting to guide them, and I leave it up to them to devise a way to remember it. I think I expect this because that's how I would learn it.
But why audio though?
I've noticed, especially when I'm describing the flow of blood to the heart, that girls ask me to repeat what I've said a lot. I realize it's because they're listening to what I'm saying as much as they're looking at the diagram to which I'm referring, which always surprises me. But I usually get impatient with them and tell them the diagram is in the book and that they need to figure out a way to remember. So I want the audio clips to be a study tool, especially for those who don't easily recall diagrams and those who might be auditory learners.
So will they just be recording you describing the blood flow then?
That is an option, but I really want them to create their own audio clip. Once they've correctly written out the information, which I'll check, then they can record it.
So how are you gonna get all 30 something of them to record a clip?
We do have Audacity installed on the systems at school, but I figure if I don't get access to the lab, that creating a voice note on their cell phones would be just as effective, and they'll be excited to use their phones in bio class or get to tell their parents that their cell phones are required for bio homework.
Why not have them do a video instead of just the audio? Wouldn't that be better?
I don't want to use video to put any girls at a disadvantage if their phones don't have cameras or the quality isn't as clear as others. All phones can make a voice recording. The audio file should be smaller and they'll be less complaining about taking up space on their phones. They can replay the recording as many times as is required for them to remember the blood flow, or pause the recording at various parts, complete the statement, and then check to make sure that they've said the correct thing. Another option is if they realize that there is a certain part of the blood flow that they are having real difficulty in remembering, that they could record themselves emphasizing that part so that it stands out in the replay. They can therefore edit the recording to suit their needs.
I'm just thinking about the other types of learners. Wouldn't this cater mostly for just auditory learners?
From my research, kinesthetic learners are advised to make notes while listening to a lecture and visual learners to write while reading or talking. The audio file would therefore allow them to write while listening to themselves talking. So I figure I'm killing 3 birds with one stone.
Created using Powtoon.